It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Yeah, Barracuda on the Rock of Minnesota, KQ92. Yeah, I was
The
totally
Rock
texting.
of Minnesota. I
The
like
Rock of
it.
Minnesota, thank you. I was texting Tony as the song was running out because Steve Gorman's not in today, and I forgot for a moment that he's playing hooky today. What is he up to, that crazy kid?
That rascal.
Gallivanting all around, missing the big storm last night, although I think it went north-northwest. All I know is when I was going to bed, the meteorologists in the area were freaking out because there were some heavy thunderstorms. But then I woke up and not one tree branch on the road, not a puddle to splash through on my way to the truck. And so I think things okay here in the metro. That must have swung very far north, but it looked like a big bad boy.
It did look scary last night. My friends were giving me crap because we were at dinner, and I was like, "Oh gosh, I better get home."
Yeah.
'Cause the patio was the umbrellas in the patio were flying all around. I was all scared. They were just laughing at me. Thought I was a grandma. I just don't like to drive in storms.
Well,
What's
that's
wrong
not
with
a
that?
that's not a grandma thing. There's nothing weird about that. That's just common sense. That's safe, Candace.
Thank you.
It's supposed to be smoky air again this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I heard that we have one of those air quality alerts. They said either later today or Friday it's going to be unhealthy for everyone. But this isn't wildfire smoke, is it? It's just good old August stank in the air.
No, I think it's still the wildfire
Oh, is
stuff.
the wildfire stuff? Canada's still on fire up there. Do you have any fire departments in Canada? What you doing up there? Can we send you a plane or two? Drop some water for you? No, that's that Arctic forest up there. Most people think of Canada kind of like the United States, but you know, most what do they say? 90% of the Canadian population lives within 100 miles of the American border, and then you've got a whole lot of wilderness up there, untended, and they don't get in and do fire prevention, that kind of stuff. So that stuff, they say, could burn for years.
Cripes.
I know. Cool. Isn't that great? Can't we all get our fans pointed north, and start pushing it back the other way or something? But, yeah, it's going to be just... I thought, how August, you get to this dog days, the heat, it heats up again, you get the humidity with the storms and all that good stuff. It's right about state fair time. I just call it August stink, or it just kind of gets stinky in the city and sweaty. Hot down, summer in the city. Thousands of mink were released from a western Wisconsin fur farm. This is down, Winona way, right there across the border. That's Trumbull County, Wisconsin. I think that's how it's pronounced. So in an alert yesterday, the Trumbull County Sheriff's Office said about 3,000 mink were freed from a farm in the township of Lincoln. It's one of those little bastards right now.
Yeah, they're nasty.
Oh, it says
Now,
here.
what is a mink? I don't really understand.
What's that?
I don't really understand what a mink
A
is.
little weasel. Think of a ferret.
Yeah, kind of ferret-like.
Yeah, and they
But
make
prettier.
Oh, they're cute.
Prettier and softer.
Yeah, they make wonderful shoals. Do you have a shoal, Candace? Do you know what?
No.
I'm not even person.
A shoal? You mean a shawl?
No, a shoal. SHOAL. It wraps around your neck, kind of hangs off your, one of those kind of things, I guess.
My grandpa was a furrier, so
Oh, was he?
saw lots of those things.
My
Yeah.
mom worked at a fur store for a while, sewing linings into rich people's fur coats.
Furrier means something totally different to me.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't. I hate to digress, but the furries. A fight broke out at a furry meetup. I know. All right. No, I'll come back to that. I'm so scattered.
Yeah, you can't leave that on the floor.
I know Tony was earlier like, can you calm down? I'm like, I get a little fired up. That's why we let Steve bring it in. He just brings it in cool like and narrates some crap, and then before you know it, we're off to Mike Evans, and I'm, ding, bing. Now that pot's legal, maybe I should try some pot instead of caffeine before the show.
Well, share, please.
I don't have any on me. Tony, what are you suggesting? Anyway, so these goofballs, these Animal Liberation Front, that's the name of Candace's organization, the Animal Liberation Front. I know you're one of these people that just want to get into these mink farms and free these animals. They were born and raised in these farms. They don't know anything about being out in the wild. They set these poor things loose to the coyotes and the coons and the fox out there. I'm sure most of them have been eaten by now. They're like, what the hell are we doing out here? I was born in a cage. No one's feeding me. It's cold. An activist group labeled an extremist movement by the FBI shared a message from the culprit admitting they'd freed the animals and identifying the farm that was targeted as the Olson Fur Farm right outside of Independence, Wisconsin over there. that's been targeted in the past. In 97, they say 800 mink were released. We'll put some locks on the cages. I'm sure they did, but... And then this, Candace, breaking news this morning, a goat fence has been cut in Chaska.
What do you mean cut?
In a separate incident, a goat
Set 'em
herd at a
free?
Chaska park was released after someone apparently cut the fence and let the goats out. Now, what if someone let your goats out, Candace?
That would be messed up because they would go. They would go.
They would
and
go.
they would keep going.
Oh, what does that say about how you care for them?
They just go where the food is. You know, it's nothing
Because
you
they
can
got a
control.
little pea brain in there. That's right.
I was just up at Dave's last weekend, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, we had to put one of our goats down, as she was one of the oldest ones. And but anyway, it started
I mean,
to bum you out.
What do
But
you
it was
do?
okay.
Do you bury the goat?
Yes, we buried it. It
When you
was
say
very nice.
put her down, you insult her.
Out where I come from, that's good coyote bait. You put her about
No,
200 yards
God,
out
no,
in the field.
she was the main goat. She was the first goat, my first goat friend. Anyway, what was I saying?
Oh, like the Adam goat or the Eve.
No, so then when we were, busy with that we kind of like lost track of the others. And we were driving around for like a half an hour trying to find them. All of a sudden, they're back in their pen. I'm like, what the hell, you guys?
Yeah, just feed them, and they'll come back to the pen. They're like kids. Remember when we were kids and our parents would say, get the hell out of here till dinner time? They knew we were coming back because we wanted to be fed. At some point, we were going to get hungry and come home. So anyway, yeah, this is another, actually, they don't know why the fence was cut and why the goats were cut loose in Chaska, but they think it's probably some group like this Animal Liberation Front. Go free, go out there and free some bears. Go to a zoo and free tigers and lions and that sort of thing if you want to do something gutsy. Mink and goats, like I said, they're not, they shouldn't be living out there anyway.
Yeah.
All right, we got so many stories to cover this morning. How about the guy that notched 23,000 rides at the Renegade roller coaster in Valley Fair? Have you heard about this guy? All right, we'll get to that after Mike Evans. We do have to get along. Mike Evans, Hollywood Report, coming up here at 6:30, along with traffic and weather. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Back but down. One man, our main voice, Steve Gorman, playing hooky today. But we have Mike Evans. Hey, maybe Steve Gorman is out playing hooky with Mike Evans. You think they're golfing
Finally.
out there in L.A.? Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. No, I haven't seen Steve. No,
All
I haven't
right.
seen him. No. Hey, good morning, everybody. This report brought to you by our good friends at Marcus Theaters. Just a reminder, Marcus Theaters has theaters all over the Metroplex, and the Oakdale Cinema, the South Bridge Crossing Cinema, and the Rosemont are my three favorites.
Yeah.
And don't forget that every Tuesday is the $6 special, the Value Tuesday, $6 to see any movie, and they have great restaurants too. You got to check them out. Yeah, there you go. Well, we'll start with the Love Nugget, the elephant in the room. Back on June 13, 2022, right here, I told you Britney Spears and Sam Asghari are getting married. I gave the over-under 18 months. That's how long I said, under 18 months. It lasted 14 months. It's over. They're getting a divorce.
Really?
There have been rumors that Britney has been wandering off the reservation and also wants to do a sex tape.
Oh, jeez. I don't even say it in jest, but was that conservatorship probably necessary?
That was my next comment. She needs to be back on a conservatorship, and I'm going to have more scoop on this story tomorrow. I'll be doing some digging today.
Yeah.
TV news. So linear and cable TV now only make up 48% of television viewing. Streaming and subscription viewing make up 52%. By the way, Netflix TV show Suits was the #1 watch show last month in July. However, that's going to change when football season gets here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Box office news. I love the movie Sound of Freedom. It's made $170 million, but only on 2,800 screens, which is really good. Barbie's made $650 million, but on 4,100 screens. By the way, Barbie director Greta Gerwig is now the highest-grossing female director of all time, and Barbie is now the highest-grossing Warner Brothers movie of all time.
Outstanding.
It really is. Okay, so some new news. The Writers, Screen Actors Guild, studio, that whole strike. Well, the talks this week lasted about 24 hours, then they broke off. There's now no talk until after Labor Day.
Really? God dang.
That's unbelievable. Hopefully that they'll get back together. Hot scoop. Now we're hearing word that Lisa Marie Presley may have had some serious health conditions besides her drug use. Some of the conditions may have even been inherited from her father, Elvis. They include abdominal swelling, extreme vomiting, heart issues, fevers that would last for weeks at a time. Lisa's son, Michael, also has some health issues before his suicide. Good health news, though. Madonna health is much improved, back rehearsing, and her ticket sales for her tour are back up. And the general consensus is that the Maui fire was caused by power lines being blown down due to the 70-mile-an-hour winds and very, very dry conditions on the island.
No, man. Well, I mean, it's not man-made. Psycho didn't start the fires, and it was just bad weather and bad circumstances.
Absolutely horrible. And like bungholes.
What?
That was a smooth segue.
Like bungholes, everybody has opinions. The latest Twitter nuts and social media goofballs are blasting Bradley Cooper for what they call him using makeup to give him a, quote, Jew face while portraying Leonard Bernstein in the biopic Maestro. But here's the deal. However, Leonard Bernstein's own family, who has been involved in the whole shooting of the movie, not only signed off on the makeup, they actually said, and I quote, Bradley's makeup is perfect because Leonard had such a huge, beautiful nose, end quote.
Why isn't it just a Jew face and not a Leonard Bernstein face?
Yeah, right. Well, right, exactly. The people that are pointing this out are just as guilty, or are the ones that are guilty of, I think, a little bit kind of a racist spin on this.
I know. It's crazy. Somebody should tell these busybodies to shut the front door. I mean,
you just did.
Just not right. Exactly. We got a lot more stuff for you tomorrow. How's everybody doing today?
We're doing well up here. We're going through another little heat spell here, and then some bad air quality from fires up in Canada, no less. But we're not complaining, not with what the people in the fire zones and especially down in Hawaii are going through.
Well, if you have a lot of heat and some bad air, Steve's probably wandering around, I don't know, down in Miami or something.
Yeah, right. He's out of all of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Good weather to go to a movie theater.
Exactly. Hey, have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
Thank you, Mike. While we're talking about Maui and those devastating fires down there, I did see a story this morning, kind of feel-good tie-in with Minnesota. Spam sending a convoy of hope from Austin, Minnesota to Maui. We've talked about it a lot of times. Yeah, the true root of the island's love for Spam goes back to World War II when that luncheon meat, what do you call it?
It's a loaf of some sort.
The luncheon loaf with all that jelly was served to GIs back then. So that was a big thing. So they would, they trucked it in there, or I guess flew it in and boated it in by the cratefuls, and by the end of the war, Spam products were adopted into the local culture. I didn't find out. My first trip to Hawaii was a few years ago, and when I got down there was Spam sushi, Spam.
I love it.
Spam everywhere. I did not grow up a big fan of Spam because, I was a kid and it was fed to us, right? Well, listen, we had, we would slaughter a hog every year and make this wonderful pork sausage and everything else. And when we would run out of all of that towards the end of the winter, then Dad would start cooking up the Spam. He loved himself some Spam, and I just didn't particularly like it. But now that I'm older, I've acquired a taste. I've calmed down. Everything that Dad likes, I don't have to hate.
Well, it's nostalgic for you now.
Yeah, well, Spam is kind of nostalgic, isn't it? So anyway, we have here the Spam brand manager. This is Janessa Kincher talking about what they'd like to accomplish with this, I guess, Spam convoy of hope.
They are our ohana. I would say that they are truly our family. They're our friends, and they bring this brand to life. Now is our time to let our ohana on Maui know that we see them, that we love them, that we're supporting them.
Yeah, and they're sending a lot more than just Spam, by the way. Clothes and all sorts of things. There's a Spam jam. Did you know that? Does that sound good? Spam
Really?
jam?
Maybe. My friend Greg loves Spam, and he has these, like, you can get these individual packs of Spam, so you can just, it's super convenient. You can just throw it on the fryer, fry it up with some eggs.
Yeah, that sounds good. I wish I had some fried Spam right now. By the way, this Spam jam, they use it to create Spam wontons. Yeah, that does sound kind of good, doesn't it? I wonder if that's available here on the shelves, the old Spam jam.
Yeah, I'd try anything twice, you know?
Yeah, I like that, try anything twice. The first time you just don't know,
Yeah.
The second time, then you know, generally,
Yeah.
if you're digging it or not. Roller coasters. You like roller coasters?
Yeah, I love, well, okay. I have gotten much more prone to motion sickness the past few years. I used to love roller coasters. I guess I just don't know how they would affect me now with my delicateness.
You're so delicate.
But in general, yes.
There's only one way to find
Let's
out.
test her out.
We're headed down to the Renegade at Valley Fair.
First, some Spam.
Yeah, first we're going to load you up with some Spam jam, and then we're going to put you in the front seat with Mike Cameron. This is a guy that has notched 23,000 rides on the Renegade at Valley Fair.
That's the white roller coaster, correct?
I think so. The wooden one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, snakes around, comes down close to the ground or whatever. Anyway, this Mike Cameron guy apparently digs the hell out of the Renegade roller coaster 23,000 times. That's unfathomable. Fathomable. Here's the report, Fox 9 last night.
Inconceivable.
Kind of exciting. It's like, I can't believe it's 23,000 rides already.
He visits Valley Fair almost every day during his lunch hour, and then again after work to experience the ups and downs of his favorite amusement park attraction. Over and over and over again until the park closes, averaging 28 rides per visit.
From the drop to the brakes, doesn't slow down, doesn't give you a chance to catch your breath. It's just nonstop the whole time.
Cameron fell in love with the Renegade more than 15 years ago when he was one of the first people to ride it when it debuted back in 2007.
I rode it the first day, opening day. I was like, oh my gosh, this is how a roller coaster should be. It's like, I love this thing. So I just rode it the rest of the day, kept track of my rides.
Within a few years, Cameron started marathoning, as he calls it, to see how many rides he could take on the Renegade in a single season. By 2017, he'd reached 10,000 rides to celebrate the roller coaster's 10th anniversary and earned the nickname Renegade Mike.
I really enjoyed it. It was fun trying to get here, see how many rides I could get every day. I don't see an end in sight. I do kind of have a goal of hitting 42,236 rides, which would equal the equivalent of riding Renegade around the world.
For more stories, Maury Glover, Fox 9.
Mike Cameron riding Renegade around the world. Whatever gets you through the day. My initial thought was, I was talking to Tony about it, I was like, well, you haven't wasted your life or anything, Mike. But no, I mean, hey, listen, whatever gets the job done, whatever motivates you to, get on to the next day, that whatever, gets a rise out of you. But every day for
It gets
lunch.
pricey.
That one hurts. I remember the Renegade now. It's kind of in that weird area off to the side. It is
Right.
wooden, and it hurt. I remember it hurt a lot.
It hurt. Well, yeah, I suppose with the Renegade, he could rack up a lot of rides. That's not one of the more popular ones there. Like, I haven't been there in a while. Like the Wild Thing was or whatever, and
trying
you
to
get
go.
those long lines.
I think we should go.
You want to go whip down the Renegade? We've got the State Fair coming up. I thought we were going to puke out
Oh,
at the
yeah.
fair.
Well, we'll start there.
All right.
And then do a big trip to Valley Fair.
Well, listen, I want to go during this guy's lunch hour. Or I guess we can catch him there just about any time. In the evening or during the lunch day, I want to go out and take a spin on this thing with
Yeah.
Mike. Just have him give me the lowdown on it.
Wonder if he'd get really off balance if he didn't do it, if we held him back during his lunch. He's like, no, you don't understand.
Oh, my God. Should we do that? Just be those people that screw up his rides every day?
I wonder if he'll start
Ruin
screaming.
his life.
That's a really diabolical mind you have there, Mr. Lee. He says. All right. Hey, listen, Hairball rocking to benefit the Isani Fire District Saturday at the Isani Rodeo Grounds. Join Lisa Miller and the KQ crew from 6 to 8 out there. Grab prizes and swag, followed by Hairball. Get tickets at 92kqrs.com. Those fire departments, they depend on those fundraisers, and that sounds like a fun one. Hairball at the Isani Rodeo Fairgrounds this Saturday. Right now on the Maple Grove Lock and Safe Talk and Text line, game show time. Why not do it for the early risers this morning? We'll take 2 callers, 9 and 2 at 651-989-ROCK. We're playing Little Kid or Drunk Adult.
Yes.
Yeah, for your chance to win tickets to George Thorogood. That's happening Saturday, September 16th at the Buck Hill Concert Series. Prize provided by Sue McLean and Associates. Our runner-up today gets tickets to the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and it's all happening. Fair Renaissance Festival. Opening this weekend, by the way. Prize provided by the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. 2 callers, please. 651-989-ROCK. Dial up. Good luck. And hang tight.
What?
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
You know, that is such a great road tune. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, of course, on the KQ Morning Show. Tony, Candace, and Zep were a man. If anybody sees a Steve Gorman out there, maybe we should have brought his dentist in today. Steve Gorman is his dentist.
That's funny.
We should have brought
He's
him in
actually
today.
a funny guy.
His dentist? I know he
Yeah.
came in to cut a commercial with him. I didn't meet him, but I've heard some of the commercials, and he could fill in just as long as we have a Steve Gorman here. That's all that's required. To be the Steve Gorman. But anyway, that road song from Bob Seger is so perfect that every time I hear another road song by another band, even if it's a classic rocker about life on the road, it seems kind of silly. James Hetfield of Metallica thought the same thing. He was being interviewed. Why cover that song? Why not write your own song about touring? He said, because after you hear that one and you're a rock and roller out on the road, there isn't a better song, a better way to put it. So
All right.
that's how we got that cover. Tony, let's play a game show.
Let's do it.
I'm not that intoxicated.
Mommy, I have to go potty. Daddy.
Drinks are on me.
The KQ Morning Show presents Little Kid or Drunk Adult.
I'm so wasted.
Right. There's such a slim margin between the two. We're giving away tickets. The winner will get George Thorogood tickets Saturday at the Buck Hill Concert Series. That would be Saturday, September 16th. And the runner-up, Minnesota Renaissance Festival tickets. That opens up this weekend.
Huzzah.
I know. It's Renaissance Festival time. State Fair, back to school. We're turning the corner here. All right. 2 contestants. Candace, who's up first?
We have Mike from Shieldsville.
Shieldsville. Where's Shieldsville at, Mike?
Shieldsville is 10 miles east of Montgomery.
Oh, well, I've been down there on the 2-wheeler once or twice. I might have buzzed through town. All right, Mike. Well, nice to know we're pushing out there that far with the big signal this morning. Mike, you ready for a little kid or drunk adult? You know how we do this?
I do.
All right. So we're going to lay it down here for you. Emma will give you her, scenario. Then you tell us if she was a little kid or a drunk adult. Mike, here we go.
I fell asleep using a loaf of bread as a pillow when I was at the grocery store.
Oh, she sounds sweet. Emma fell asleep at the grocery store using a loaf of bread as a pillow. But was she a little kid, Mike, or a drunk adult?
I'll say drunk adult.
All right, here we go.
I was a little kid.
Oh,
I went to the store with my uncle, who was a terrible babysitter. He was hitting on one of the cashiers, so I was bored. I decided to grab a loaf of bread and use it as a pillow. I basically passed out, and then I woke up to an old man yelling at me in some different language. I don't know what it was.
Emma.
I think he worked there.
Oh, well, isn't that just adorable?
Well, that was too obvious. I had to go with the opposite.
That's the
Right.
thing. It's just a flip a coin kind of thing because when I listen to these, when we put them together, I wouldn't get half these right. I'm sure I wouldn't. And uncles do make terrible babysitters, generally. All right, Mike. Well, 0 for 1. Let's try again here, this time with Greg.
So I went to pee, but I pulled out my testicles instead of what I was supposed to pull out. I ended up peeing my pants.
Well, who hasn't that happened to? Mike, he pulled out his berries instead of the twig when he peed, and he peed himself. Was he a little kid or a drunk adult?
All right, we'll try drunk again.
The answer? I was a drunk adult.
There you go.
I got confused and thought I grabbed my penis, but grabbed my testes instead and started to pee my pants. My wife has never let me live this down because I did it in front of her.
Oh, man, that would hurt.
That would hurt.
Pull
And,
those out?
I mean, I'm not saying much about his wiener, but I don't often mistake the 3. Mike, see, now that one, I guessed little kid when I first heard it because I thought, what adult even smashed would do something that asinine? But that dude did, and that makes you 1 for 1. I like this. Take it the other direction. All right, 1 for 1. That's pretty good. 2 for 1 might be a winner. We're going to turn you over to Jen now, Mike. Here's Jen.
I barfed in my grandmother's casket.
Jen barfed in her My God, you can't make these up. Jen barfed in Grandma's casket as a drunk adult or a little kid, though.
She was for sure drunk.
I was a little kid.
Oh, you kidding me?
Okay, so my dad lifts me up to see my dead grandmother. And we
That's
just
the
come
lift
from
up,
a family
right?
dinner. I'd eaten all of my pie, half of my brother's. I guess maybe it was the mix of trauma and seeing my completely motionless grandmother, the overwhelming scent of embalming fluid and flowers that just completely unleashed what had to have been like a gallon of blueberry pie. My family freaked out. Everybody was completely mortified.
Yeah, all right, we're going to cut you off there. We get the idea.
That is natural.
The blueberry pie's got to be... I mean, that's what they use in movies when they really want to... What was that movie, Stand By Me, where he's in the pie eating contest and he just barfs all over the place? I think it was. Mike, that was almost unfair. Every one of those was. But that's a little kid or drunk adult. You're really just guessing. You're sitting down.
That was unfair.
Well, you can get a hold of the gaming department here at the Big Q and file an official complaint. Hey, 1 for 2, Mike. Might get the job done because we have another contestant up against the same odds.
Got 3.
What's that?
I only have 3.
Yeah, you only get 3 with little kid or drunk adult.
All right.
1 for 2, Mike. I know. I love his enthusiasm.
He wants another taste.
Hey, I get it.
All right.
Well, we might have a tiebreaker, but it's not going to be a little kid or drunk adult. Okay, Mike, hang tight. And Candace, who's up next?
We have Lynn from Richfield.
Good morning, Lynn.
Hey, Zap.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm working. What are you doing?
Are you? Well, I'm working.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm working. I'm doing my job, and you're helping me do my job. What is your job? Could I help you?
Yeah, I'm doing my sunglasses right now.
You're doing your sunglasses right
Good
now. Are you a
visual.
little kid or a drunk adult? No, wait a second. So, I mean, you're working on sunglasses? That's what you do for a living?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a fascinating job. As much as I'd love to interview you about it, we are going to move on to little kid or drunk adult. Lynn, you know how this works, don't you?
Yep.
You've been both,
Yep.
I bet. Yep. All right, Lynn, are you with me? Here we go. Little kid or drunk adult, we're going to turn you over to Patricia.
I buzzed a strip out of my sister's head while she was sleeping.
Okay, so she buzzed a strip out of her sister's head, the hair, while she was sleeping as a little kid or a drunk adult.
Okay.
I'm going to say drunk adult.
I was a drunk adult.
There you go.
She had hooked up with a guy that I really wanted to sleep with first, so when she came back from his apartment, I just buzzed the strip in her head when her drunk ass passed out. We were both pretty hammered, though.
That'll show her.
Hell hath no fury like a sister. Well, yeah, you can't be. Geez, already you're 1 for 1, Lynn. Mike's sweating it out now, but you've you got to get at least one more here. This time, Lynn, we give you, who is this? This is David.
I stole a fish from a tank at a fancy hotel.
All right, stole a fish from a tank at a fancy hotel as a little kid or a drunk adult?
Little kid.
I was a drunk adult. My friend and I stole a fish from the tank at a fancy hotel in Las Vegas. And we did get caught, and we did go to jail. It was a serious crime because the hotel put the value of the fish at $2,500.
Wow.
We pled the charge down, but it was still expensive. Good news was the fish was not harmed.
The fish was not harmed.
Nice voice on that guy,
Yeah,
too.
no kidding. Would you like to be a DJ? The fish was not harmed. You like that, Candace?
I do.
All right. Well, he's a thief. Just a common thief.
He's a bad boy.
Bad. All right, Lynn, you're 1 for 2. Mike's excited, and he's not pulling for you. But if you get this one, you win the big tickets to George Thorogood. You ready, Lynn? This is Larissa.
I farted out loud but blamed it on a deaf person.
All right, Larissa farted out loud but blamed it on a deaf person. Little kid or drunk adult?
I'm going to say drunk adult.
All right, for all the marbles.
I was a little kid.
Are you
I
kidding
farted
me?
in front of my childhood crush. It was on the playground at school. And while his back was turned away from me, my crush turned around and said, "Ew, did you fart?" Luckily for me, my deaf classmate was right next to me, so I blamed it on her. My childhood crush believed me, and my deaf classmate had no idea I blamed it on her. So,
it's perfect crime.
Win-win.
Right. No one was hurt.
I would think that a little boy would be attracted. I mean, that would seem like flirting if a girl farted around me. Well, you know how you are as a little kid. Lynn.
Some things never change, right?
That's right. You blew it. No, you're one.
Lynn.
God, you had it right in your hands. No, these are a flip of the coin. We respect the challenge here. But Mike and Lynn, you are tied, and we need a tiebreaker. And for that, we go to our man, Tony Lee.
All right, this is very, very difficult. The very first Star Wars movie was released in 1977, now known as Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. But what was its production cost? It was made for how much?
Mike, go first.
Yeah, Mike, how much?
The very first one. 24 million.
Okay. Lynn? Are you working on a pair of sunglasses right now, life or death?
I'm going to say, what did you say, 24 million?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say 23 million.
The price is right at you, Mike. Yeah. Tony?
The answer is 11 million.
Mike, well, Mike, you had two chances this morning, man. Nobody's feeling sorry for you. And you know why no one's feeling sorry for you, Mike? Because you've got a couple of tickets to the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. Huzzah! Opening this weekend. Go out there and get drunk. It's a lot of fun. Prize provided by Minnesota Renaissance Festival. It's down there in the South Metro, not a far drive from you. It'll be fun. Mike, thank you this morning. You've been a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And Lynn, a couple of tickets. Lonesome George Thorogood at the Buck Hill Concert Series on Saturday, September 16th.
Suppository.
You go out there and get suppository. You go out there and get drunk and have a good time at the Buck Hill Concert Series. Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks,
Thanks. Everybody's disappointed. That's one of those games where nobody feels good about it, you know? They're just like, thank you, Zep. No, I'm kidding. I know she's busy. She's working. Thanks for squeezing our game show into your morning, Lynn. All right, we got to run along here, but, I'm looking at this unusual things celebrities have in their homes. I was on the BuzzFeed. Let me just share a couple of these here before we roll on, because I'm thinking, do I have anything weird in my home? I have a little radio studio back in the corner. I suppose most people don't have that. That might be weird. Sheryl Crow, this is weird. She has traditional death masks. You know those death masks they create after a person dies. Yeah, this goes back centuries. They've been doing this. They have Napoleon and Marie Antoinette and Louis.
Yeah, that's weird.
I was picturing like your grandma.
What?
Like
a mask made out of
a
deceased relative's skin.
Yes, that's
not weird.
No, that wouldn't be weird at all. She does have a couple of that's plaster of Paris. They make a death mask with how they do that with plaster of Paris and the whole thing, and then we know exactly what that person looked like. She has a couple of presidents, William McKinley and William Howard Taft. Their death mask. Robert Downey Jr. His house is converted from a 19th century windmill. Of course it is. That's what I love about this. If you had all the money in the world, say you won the big lottery, how weird would your house be? What would be the weird things you'd fill it up with? Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute, he does have a pig farm and a barn, not a beet farm. A collectible gas station art, including a Mobil's Pegasus logo, which has bullet holes in it. I could go for that one.
The Pegasus? Wow.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is kind of cool.
Kind of weird.
It's kind of weird. Neil Patrick Harris, he has a stretch portrait from Disney's Haunted Mansion. Oh, a man in striped boxers that's standing on dynamite. Okay, that's weird. Oh, but this is even weirder. He has a monkey bar. Like the monkey bar over there in Prescott? He has a monkey bar that has taxidermy monkeys all over it.
Oh.
Could you enjoy yourself in a room with a bunch of taxidermy monkeys, Candace?
No. I don't think I could handle that.
Maybe somebody else here has some. All right, I scrolled past that one. Casey Musgraves, that actress, she has a joint from Willie Nelson in a frame.
Singer.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, right. I know. And, first of all, I was like, come on, smoke the damn thing. Willie gave it to you, but it is a roach. So she did smoke it. SNL's Chloe Finneman, she keeps her wig collection in her oven. That's just too kooky. Why? Why do you have a wig collection?
She lives in New York. She doesn't have storage space.
That's true. She does live in New York.
I had a studio apartment. And I did that. My cupboards and oven was a place to put things in.
Tony, if you had
gotta make do.
If you had all the money in the world, if we just backed the Brinks truck up to your house, I can't imagine what kind of things would end up in your house. I mean, your studio alone in your office over there is sort of like a Ripley's Believe It or Not, kind of a walk through a macabre museum. I can imagine what you'd end up with in your house. Hey, if you have something weird in your house, if you've acquired something weird, let us know. 651-989-ROCK. We'll throw it up on the Maple Grove Lock and Safe talk and text line if you want to call in with something. It is National Thrift Store Day. I think these things segue together. Because we have some weird things people found in thrift stores. I bought a jacket one time, back when I didn't have a pot to piss in, and every DJ needs a jacket for formal occasions, you know. So if you're a DJ, you can wear the kooky Electric Fetus T-shirt, a pair of jeans, and a crappy pair of shoes, and you throw on a jacket, and now you're kind of formal. What did you expect? He's a rock and roll DJ, people would say. So I went down there to Unique on, Larpenter and Rice over there, and bought a jacket, and got home and found a condom in the pocket. Unused, still in the package. And being a man in my early 20s, eventually I needed that. I was like, one night, having that. Oh my God, I need a condom. I'm out of condoms.
Oh my God.
I know, right? Well, I buy the little boxes.
Use it as a pocket square in your coat.
I ran upstairs in the jacket pocket. There it was, the condom. And I think I was rebuked anyway. I don't think I ended up using it. But anyway, that was my thrift store find. If you have a thrift store find, we'll take that as well. How many social media things did I just add to that? Should we move along?
Let's just talk about weird things you have.
Now let's talk about Tony Lee and the KQ Morning Show judging Famous Dave's All-Star Barbecue Series from noon to 4 at Famous Dave's in Minnetonka. I'm excited for this. I'm going to be there. So come out, meet up with Tony and the KQ crew for free samples while they last, plus a shot to win your own drum smoker at Famous Dave's on Highway 7 near 494 in Minnetonka. Who doesn't want their own drum smoker?
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that be nice right out here in the back lot? Get a little smoking this morning.
Meat, whiskey, it's free.
The most valuable thrift store finds of all time and weird stuff in your home. That's coming here at 7:30. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
It's Tony, Candace, and Zepp holding down the fort today. And we just put up on KQ's Facebook page talking about unusual things celebrities have in their homes. Had us thinking about our own weird belongings in the house. What strange things do you have in your house? Thanks for the comments already. This isn't weird. This is awesome. My beloved friend Andrea, by the way, writing this on the KQ Facebook post. My beloved friend that I cat sit for has an autographed Judas Priest gold record that Rob Halford gave to him. That's freaking awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's not weird.
This is weird. Heidi has a talking Christmas tree named Douglas Fir. F-I-R, get it there. My mom bought it for me as a joke to remind me of Bruce the Spruce. Wendy, why do you have a skunk pelt that you bought for $1?
What's a pelt?
A pelt, just its skin.
Oh, God. Wendy.
Remember we were talking about the mink earlier, 3,000 minks. Is it minks or mink? Mink? What's plural for mink? I don't know. Let go on the mink farm down there and somewhere in Wisconsin. I'm forgetting the name of the town now. Anyway, yeah, skunk pelt bought for $1 at $1. I know that's not right. At a game fair in Minnesota when I was 15. I'm now 55 and still enjoy it. How do you enjoy the skunk pelt, Wendy? I don't know. Too much information.
Instead of a bearskin rug.
Yeah, she's got the skunk. She likes to curl up on her skunk pelt. Patricia has a mannequin that's weirdly dressed in her house. That's odd. Brandon has a sphinx. Speaking of minks, sphinx in the house. Strange, unusual. Tim has a headstone. All right, Tim, that's weird. Your headstone, just saving it, you never know. Save the family the time and trouble, I guess. All right, you have some unusual things in the house you want to call and call it in on the Maple Grove talk and safe, talk and text. Lock and safe. I'm segueing
Did you
here.
already say that Brian's my favorite? Maybe you said it. I was
What was it? I didn't see it.
my wife.
His wife. That's the most unusual thing in his house. I can imagine. The Maple Grove Lock and Safe Talk and Text line 651-989-ROCK. You have something unusual in the house. If you do not and you want something unusual, today is National Thrift Store Day. You know how they have the really super goofy days every day. Today, National Thrift Store Day. Find all sorts of crazy stuff. I remember just finding a jacket with a condom in it. That was my big thrift store find. That was my unusual find. It was unused, however, and remained unused. Probably still unused to this day. I think I only wore that jacket once. Someone found a DeForest Kelley memorabilia at a thrift store.
Dr. McCoy.
Yeah, Dr. McCoy, yeah. In 2021, one Redditor posted about his unexpected thrift store haul. He had just purchased a copy of Nat King Cole's Wild is Love at a thrift store. When he got home, opened the record, he found signed photographs from the actor who played, there you go, Leonard Bones McCoy on Star Trek, DeForest Kelley. Signed to his cousin, feature Kelly in the early days of his acting career. Yeah, he looks like a young punk here. Clipped newspaper articles were also included, as well as some model shots. And they think that's, well, it's priceless for Star Trek fans, right?
Right.
If you're a Trekkie, you're going to plunk down big dough for that. Here's what somebody found: a mule deer fawn. A living mule deer fawn at a thrift store.
What?
Yeah. In August 2021, someone left a 2-week-old fawn at a thrift store in Arizona, which another woman picked and took home. Are you allowed to do that? Sell deer? Perhaps the person who dropped it off thought something had happened to its mother. Probably not. The mother had just wandered away because you got too close. By the way, the mama will come back for the fawn. I don't know if you ever heard that old story that, once you mess with the fawn, the doe won't come back. They will come back. Leave it alone. Why'd you take it to a thrift store, you bonehead? That would be a weird find. And then someone bought it. The thrift store's like, yeah, slap a sticker on its ass. We'll sell it. NASA spacesuits. Hello.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. In Florida, no doubt, at a Salvation Army.
I would like to wear that and just go to Target.
You got to go to Walmart, then you end up on the webpage. Weird people you see at Walmart. Anything having to do with the space race, highly collectible. Yeah, they think it's worth about $5,000.
Wow.
So, and they bought it for 20 cents. They purchased the suits for a whopping 20 cents each and hope to use the money they'd earned from their auction to pay off some of their tuition. A couple of kids bought that. Someone bought a Beatles demo single for 25 cents. Turns out it was a rare Beatles demo single. The Holy Grail single of Love Me Do was given to the charity shop with about 25 other records. Employees noted its rarity right away, but were unable to find the donor, so they sold it on the store's eBay page, for $17,350.
How about that?
How about 4 pounds of weed? National Thrift Store Day. Somebody at a thrift store found 4 pounds of weed in Monroe, Washington in 2017. Somebody donated an old cooler to Goodwill. It would have been forgotten about if employees had not discovered 4 pounds of pot stashed inside. Well, it doesn't look like it's there. Yeah, it's right there. It is. Yeah, 4 pounds of pot. $24,000 value, street value, but you can't sell that. They sold the cooler, though. The fact that we're reading about it means they didn't keep it. What are you doing working at a thrift store and you're not a pothead? I just assumed you were all potheads.
Right.
I mean, right? Because I would love to work at a thrift store and be a pothead. Just kind of hang out, you know? People bringing in weird things, make it more interesting, I think.
Good finds. Oh, we got a text from Mark from Wisconsin. It says, my mother-in-law has a stuffed armadillo.
What's the story there, I wonder? Just she has a stuffed armadillo. Okay, why not? So weird things people have in their homes, the kind of things you might find on Thrift Store Day. Somebody found Vince Lombardi's sweater.
Really?
Yeah, Sean and Ricky McBoy sell vintage clothes and picked up the sweater in a bulk purchase for 58 cents. They thought it was a vintage baseball warm-up jumper until they noticed Lombardi written on the tag inside. You got to read those tags, man. People used to write on tags. I don't write on tags of anything, you know, but people used to write on tags. Yeah, so the suspicion turned out to be correct. It belonged to legendary football coach Vince Lombardi. What the hell's going on out there? And then they say who Vince Lombardi was. That worth 43,000 smackers.
I bet.
And, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you.
No.
No. How about a Masters jacket? You know what a Masters jacket is, Candace?
Golf.
Yeah, that's right. The Masters. Yeah, one of the big four.
Golf!
One of the Grand Slam events. It's a big one. Green Masters jacket of the Augusta National Golf Club. Iconic. And someone bought one at a thrift store in Toronto, Ontario. All members of the club get a jacket. Only Master winners can wear it off-site. In 94, a man found one jacket in a Toronto thrift store, which was several other blazers. He purchased it for $5. And it dates back to a 1950s Masters winner. Doesn't say who, though. The origins, therefore, remain a mystery. But that's worth about $140,000. Wow. This has got to be a lot of paintings, by the way, a lot of artwork. I'm skipping past all that. That's the kind of, I wouldn't know if I walked in, if I'm looking at a Picasso or, just something that a local housewife painted and brought down to the thrift store. But there's a lot of those on here, and those you can go for millions of dollars. People find those in thrift stores. I would be the dummy taking it down like an X left, and she left this stupid painting here, and it'd be worth millions. But this is weird. At a Music City thrift shop in Nashville, Tennessee, someone bought the Declaration of Independence.
What was that doing there?
In 2007, music equipment technician Michael Sparks purchased a 184-year-old copy of the Declaration of Independence for just $2.48. That was back in 2007, really? He was surprised when he discovered it was an official copy commissioned by John Quincy Adams and dated to 1823. Oh, he sold it for $477,650, minus $2.48 that he purchased for it. Holy crap, man.
Thrifting is cool, but you know what's cooler?
What's cooler?
Estate sales.
Estate sales are cool. I bought that is the one kind of cool old object I have. I was at an estate sale down on Summit, and one of my buddies was going down there. He wanted to buy a grandfather clock for his mom. His mom wanted this grandfather clock, and he thought that he'd get a good deal at this estate sale. He heard that they had a couple of grandfather clocks. He did not end up getting a grandfather clock, but they were selling a bunch of rings. This person had thousands of old antique rings, and I was looking at a piece of paper, and it said this ring here dates back to the Crusades. It was found in Beersheba, which is modern-day Iraq. And where in Iraq? I'm not forgetting. Anyway, modern-day Iraq, but it used to be one of Saladin's, who was the great Muslim general that took Jerusalem back. Anyway, it was one of his old military camps, and they were out there, and they found this ring, and it belonged to a French knight that dated about 8th century, so the 700s sometime. And or 17, or it was later than that because the Crusades didn't start till about 1000. Anyway, it's an 800-year-old ring, and they started auctioning it off. And I'm like, what? This old ring? And it fit, by the way. You were able to pick it up, and I put it on. I was like, wow, there's an 800-year-old French knight's ring. Was killed during the Crusades, and it fit. And it came up for auction. It went for $70. So I was like, oh, $70. And so I have that at home.
That's cool. Yeah,
why don't you wear it?
Yeah,
I do wear it
tomorrow.
I will wear it tomorrow if I remember.
Well, you know what I found? I think you're aware of this, too. It's a very famous a bunny suit. Famous for fans of the show here, if you've ever heard of the incidents with the giant bunny head. And I got that at one of those sales. It was the bunny head and suit for $1.75. I'm like, how can I not buy that?
Wow.
Do you still have it?
I sure do.
I bet you do. See, I bet your house is filled with all
Wear
sorts
it
of weird
tomorrow.
stuff. Wear it. I'll wear the ring, and you wear the bunny suit.
I'll wear I found, I was also in St. Paul, this crazy house. There was like 4 levels. And I found an outfit that fit me perfectly. It was like this velvet skirt and black top and like velvet hat. And it was like literally, it fit me to a T. I was like, who was this lady? Because I have a weird body, So I was like, this is so weird. Like, who was she? Was this me back in the day?
Yeah.
And it's just like cool to own dead people's stuff.
It is cool to own dead people. Is it cool to own dead people's stuff?
Yeah, I'll wear it tomorrow.
You have a weird mind to go with your weird body. But yes, you wear that. It'll be dress-up day. Tony, you wear the bunny outfit, and then I'll wear the French knight's ring. Didn't you say you have don't you have a knight's helmet too, Tony?
I used to have so much weird, cool stuff, but I got married and it disappeared.
That's how that happens. You get married and it disappears. By the way, my buddy Matt out at the Minnesota State Fair, speaking of skunk pelts, I built this a few years ago to scare the kids. You got to hear the audio. It's hilarious. It's a skunk pelt he's put on wheels. Yeah, like on a remote control car. And so, yeah, it looks like a little motorized skunk coming at you. Let me see if I can get the audio here. I hope you don't swear in this, Matt. Candace, be ready on the dump button. He's getting it ready here. It's not a long video. All right, come on. Fire it up, Matt. Yeah, that's scary. So he's, oh my God,
He's
you ought to
scaring
see
kids.
this. Yeah, and this thing flies. It's one of those remote control cars that just flies, and it goes from his patio all the way out across the yard into the playground equipment where the kids are playing, and they see this thing ripping across the yard, and they just freak out and start running everywhere. I can appreciate that, Matt. You're my kind of man, buddy.
That's funny.
That is funny. All right, we got to move along here. At 8 o'clock, we're going to speak with Dan Hedberg. Maybe you know him as Danimal, about Operation Zero. This is a big party with and for our veterans coming up next Saturday, August 26th. Please hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
There they go, AC/DC with another one of their touchy-feely love songs. That song created a super awkward moment for me in my life, and I'm so proud that I raised my daughters on classic rock. And they mostly, of course, they love their new rock, and Taylor goes hip-hop too and listens to a little bit of everything. But I'm cruising down the road and in the truck, and we like to, how you just burst in, the classic rock tunes come on, and you just start singing along. And there we are, both singing along with Thunderstruck. And we get to the line, "Can I come in, you please?" And both of us just realized what was happening and stopped and side glanced each other, not to make total eye contact. Like, what's going on? And then not another word was said. We quit singing after that. But
see, I thought it was, "Can I come again, please?"
Well, either way.
Either way. Hotter.
Yeah, I wasn't going to chorus that up with my daughter. Should we transition here and talk about something wholesome and cool, but yet wild and fun at the same time? I'm talking about Operation Zero. It's happening next Saturday. I'm very honored to be emceeing this big get-together. Let's introduce you to Dan Hedberg, the Danimal. Also, Steve Basarich. I probably screwed up your last name there, Steve. Let's just call you Die Hard. So we have the Danimal and Die Hard talking about Operation Zero. 0 veterans commit suicide. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Oh, we got you both on. Great. Fantastic. All right, Operation Zero. 0 veterans to commit suicide. This continues to be kind of alarming numbers when we talk about our veterans and even active service duty members that are committing suicide, like I said, in alarming numbers. So it's Operation Zero. You guys have put this together to never forget, never quit on life. And it's a big old party. Party with the vets. Show your support for Operation Zero. We're doing this August 26th, so not this Saturday, next Saturday in Ramsey. And this is an all day. I mean, pack your lunch, pack your dinner, 10 a.m. to midnight. Fellas, please tell us more about Operation Zero.
Go ahead. Well, the beautiful thing about Operation Zero, we're getting the message out. Every day, 22 veterans we lose to their demons. Thing about Operation Zero, this event we're having out in Ramsey, it's going to give veterans an opportunity to come out, see the support of the community, see all the love that's out there. At the same time, they're listening to music. They're going to be able to gather up their resources, pick up brochures and get some information on ways to get help. So hopefully they know that they're not forgotten. They're always loved, and there's resources out there to kind of help them through those tough times.
Yeah, well said. I mean, we're talking with Danimal and Die Hard here about Operation Zero. This happening at Veterans Lake, by the way. Annual motorcycle show and celebration. It's a lot more than that, guys. I'm looking at a couple of the posters. I'll get this one up on my Facebook page today, but let's talk about some of the things happening out there. Like I said, this starts at 10 a.m. Saturday, August 26th, and runs right on till midnight. And it's Huey helicopter, vendors, climbing wall, monuments, children's bounce house, food, and beverage stands. Let's talk about the day and the lineup and what people can come out and expect and enjoy.
So at noon, we'll have the opening ceremony with the T6 military T6 Thunder military flyover. We'll have a national anthem with the military flyover. I believe the Frankensteiner's Car Club will be out there with a car show.
Yeah.
And a motorcycle show. They'll be hosting that. later on in the day, they'll be offering a trophy presentation for that.
Mm-hmm.
The Healy helicopter will be on display up by the stage throughout the day. There'll be climbing walls, vendors, exhibits. The monument, if nobody's been out or heard of Veteran Lake, a guy named John Enstrom, he created this for veterans. He's not a veteran himself, but he created this 20-acre lake and a monument for all veterans that have died post 9/11 from Minnesota.
Wow, that's awesome. I have not seen it. I have not been up to Veterans Lake to see this yet and cannot wait to check it out next Saturday when I get up there. You guys are going to have a lot of live music. It's a party throughout the day, so there's a lot of things going on for the entire family. If you're a vet, I'd love you to be there with us and feel the love and support. If you're just supporting the veterans, that's why we want you there. But there are going to be a lot of bands throughout the day as well, starting shortly afternoon and just kind of playing on through the night.
Yep, and fireworks at the end of the night.
I got to have fireworks, man. It's not a party until there's fireworks. You got to have the fireworks out there. Operation Zero. We're talking this morning about 0 veterans to commit suicide. That's the ultimate goal here, 10 a.m. to midnight. In other words, we'll have the opening ceremony at noon. But if you want to come out and start wandering in before that and hang out with some of the vendors, and check out a few things, see the flower gardens and the monument the guys were just talking about, and then we'll get it kicked off at noon or wander in any old time in the afternoon. Like I said, the party's going to go right on through till midnight. I'll be out there just hanging out emceeing, right? So I'll just be jumping up on stage and introducing stuff, and we'll have some special presentations, I understand.
Absolutely. Great. Yes, Quilts of Valor will be out there.
Oh, yeah. Now talk about that a little bit.
Quilts of Valor is an organization that gives some women that put their time and effort together to create quilts for veterans, and they just give them to us.
Yeah,
and they're beautiful. I have one myself. A lot of the brothers have one, and it's quite an honor to receive that.
Yeah, that is quite an honor. They're going to be there as well. Operation 00 veterans to commit suicide. Never forget, never quit on life. Now, do you guys you have a website? I'm going to have this up on my Facebook page. I know you guys have Operation 0MN. That's your Facebook page. Is that the best place to go to?
Facebook page, correct.
Yeah, that's the best place to go to get more information about this or just to make your plans for the day.
Make your plans for the day. We're open to more vendors coming out if anybody wants to reach out to that Facebook page.
All right, sounds good. But if you want to be a part of it as far as vending goes, go ahead and get a hold of them. Operation 0MN. This is happening at Veterans Lake in Ramsey, August 26th, not this Saturday, the following Saturday. We'd love it if you could come out and join us for the day, a little bit of the day. Come on out and party for the night. Danimal, Die Hard. Thanks, guys. I think you did pretty well, although I feel like I did most of the heavy lifting here. You guys,
you'll be ready for Saturday then.
I'm all warmed up and ready for Saturday, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you out there next Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Outstanding. Good job. Operation 0. Got that to look forward to. Got that coming up. That's pretty cool.
Operation 0 sounds mysterious.
It does sound mysterious. That's the way us vets do it, mysteriously. We don't know what we're doing. No, Operation 0, I like that. 0 suicides. That's the goal. And just get that number down. And this is really about raising money, for those services behind the scenes that work with our veterans and active service members. But also, like those guys said, just come on out and celebrate vets with the vets next Saturday. All right, 8 rules for hooking up with a coworker. I thought that was a smooth segue. What did you think?
Yeah, I think that's great.
I've been looking at this story all morning long. Someone came up with a list of 8 rules for hooking up with a coworker. Candace, you've been here for a long time. I don't want to bust you here. We still have the same management. I don't want to get you in trouble. Well, I have once or twice, I believe, hooked up with a coworker. In fact, I had such a bad habit of it, I've been called into the office before to be scolded and told not to hook up with any more coworkers. And you're just laughing nervously.
And you hooked up with whoever told you not to do that anymore. Sparks flew.
Yeah.
It's okay because it's like here, or maybe in radio in general, it doesn't mean anything. It's just meaningless.
I get a feeling it's like that in a lot of offices, shops, work sites, all over the world. Tony, you married a coworker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's of course that's very common. You're in the same environment. You share similar experiences.
Yeah,
just because it's common doesn't mean it's right.
Oh no! Well, I mean, I think the only time you get into that is when it's like management sleeping with one of us worker bees. That's what you're not supposed to do. I don't think it's. There's probably something in the handbook that we're not supposed to be, bonking during breaks. But we just had a threesome during the last break, and it was quite satisfying for me.
It was part of the interview process. Oh, at least for me, not you guys.
No, all right. Here's some rules for hooking up with a coworker. It can be tricky, and there are rules. You can only hook up with one at a time. Yeah, that's. I found that out.
Oh, my.
One at a time.
Oh,
right.
my.
Yeah. Means you can't hook up with anyone else at work unless you get an. Oh, they say, only one. Oh, this doesn't mean one at a time. Oh, okay. I guess I was getting greedy. Unless you get a new job first, or they do. Okay. Yeah, okay. I see what they're saying. So if you hook up with that person and then it doesn't work out and you're done hooking up, and then you move on to the next person, then that person. Yeah, sorry. You can't have them. You can't have the ex hovering around. Rules for hooking up with a coworker. If they break rule number 1, you can only hook up with one. You have to be okay with it. Just go on assuming you might have to be the adult. Yeah, take the high road. If it can't be anyone you work with directly, if you work closely, it'll get weird. Oh, it can't be anyone you work with directly, like the three of us. That would be a little too weird.
All right.
All right, taking it off the table. Besides, we've already done that. No, I'm kidding. We haven't. No one slept with anyone here yet. Stop it. It can be anyone who might it can't be anyone who might intentionally cause drama. Well, good luck with that.
How do you know that beforehand?
You don't know beforehand. You find out about people, and I mean, there are some people in the office that are just an obvious red flag. They're high maintenance. They gossip a lot. They get around. That sort of thing. You don't want to mess with someone like that. The youngins, don't get involved with the youngins. If you're a little older and they're young and they come in, that's, you don't want to be doing that. And preferably someone single. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't be your boss, right? You can't be your boss or someone who works directly under you. Otherwise, yeah, that's lawsuit stuff right there. Don't do it. You can't talk about, unless your boss is married. I found that if you hook up with your boss and she or he is married, then they're not going to bust you. There's not going to be any issues there. Unless their spouse finds, never mind. Back to the rules. There are rules for a reason. You can't talk about it at work. That's the tricky thing when you hook up with someone at work, to not pretend like we're doing it. We know we're doing it, but they don't know we're doing it, and we're doing it. And then you get all aroused when you're around them. People can read that vibe at work, They know when people are hooking up. Don't be flirting with each other all day. If you do start to get serious, tell your manager as soon as possible. Don't do that. Don't tell the man. They don't want to know. They don't want to deal with it. Just keep it to yourselves. But that's what you're supposed to do if you start an at-work relationship. That's what it says in the handbook, right? Okay. You're supposed to go to your manager and say, that's such a mom and dad thing, isn't it? We're seeing each other, and we would just like the permission of the company. F that. One more rule here. There are 8 rules to hooking up with a coworker. If it turns out there's drama, don't bring it to work. Deal with it outside the office. Again, good luck with all that.
I'm just glad you cleared all this up for me, Zep.
Oh, yeah, some rules there, Candace. Don't be breaking any of those rules.
It's fun to break rules.
Rules are for fools. Well, now I kind of feel like getting into the relationship stuff.
All right.
Some cheating stuff, some relationship stuff. We have some things to talk about. Also, that tricky thing that when you break up and you have a pet, who gets to take the pet?
Yeah.
Well, and then, so that's one side of this argument. The other side is there's an old joke, Candace, that guys tell, a little locker room humor here between guys, like, oh, she owns my testicles. She owns my wiener, my old way. She takes it off before I leave town. That old joke, it's not a very funny joke, but something guys say. But it actually happened literally. And now this person wants their testicles back. I'm being absolutely serious. 8:30, we're going to talk about that. Hang tight.
That's a bunch of malarkey.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS. And we always want to hear from you. Call or text 651-989-ROCK. 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Just wait till he's done talking, Zep. There's a trick to this, I'm a little out of shape, Gorman's been doing it for us, but he's playing hooky today. So it's Tony, it's Candace, it's Zep. I'm excited, Candace. You're going out to the Leinenkugel gig tomorrow from 4 to 6 at Cub Wine and Spirits in Champlin to toast the dog days of summer. I like it because I get on the KQ Facebook page, and you really take that dog days of summer thing literally, don't you? People bring their dogs out. It's awesome.
I met this sweet golden last week, and there was a little wiener dog, and there was a Dalmatian too.
Those Dalmatians, those are... do you know about Dalmatians?
No.
They can be crazy dogs. I've had two separate friends, don't know each other, that, in fact, separate states, so they weren't communicating, that each had Dalmatians, and I guess they can be a holy terror. You really got to stay on top of them. They've got they're little troublemakers, like a blonde broadcaster I know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought it was beautiful. I've never seen it. I don't even know if that might have been my first time seeing one in the flesh.
Yeah. Well, they're beautiful. Bring your pup out. You'll have a chance to win Liney's merch for your pup, Liney's paddles and gear for you, plus sample Line and Kugel beer with Candace tomorrow, 4 to 6, Cub Wine and Spirits, the one in Champlin, to toast the dog days of summer.
Yeah.
Tony's got his thing coming up on Saturday. Everyone's having fun, unless you're breaking up. Unless you're getting out of a relationship, then there is no fun. It's only doom and gloom. It's getting trickier, too, because relationships are changing, because gender, roles, and everything, the deck's getting shuffled. There are new meanings to everything. And so when I think about the old relationship, I had several friends go through this. Maybe you guys experienced it, where you're just dating and you break up and you have a pet. You acquired a pet. Yeah, it wasn't yours. You got it as a couple. Yeah, and my daughter Taylor just went through this not too long ago. As a couple together for a long time with the pet, everybody's in love, all three of you, and then you break up. Who gets the pet? That's gut-wrenching. It's kind of like who gets the kids, Except
I would not get a pet with a dude unless we were married.
That's the thing. And don't buy a house with someone unless you're married. That was the pet that I found out. Don't do that. Because it gets tricky then. Who gets what? It's and then you can't get lawyers involved if it's just a dating relationship thing, and you don't want to get lawyers involved. Well, listen to this: a transgender woman has gone to court alleging that her ex-boyfriend stole her surgically removed genitals.
Oh my!
She
did
wants them back.
What with them?
Well, the case currently unfolding. This happening over there in Pontiac, Michigan. 40-year-old Brianna Kingsley submitted a claim to court last Thursday alleging that her 37-year-old ex is keeping her testicles, previously removed as part of the gender transition surgery, in a jar in his fridge and refuses to return them to her. The ex-boyfriend claims that he's not unaware of it. He didn't know that she wanted them back until she filed this thing. So it's a little he said, she said thing, but he still hasn't given them back. Defendant retains possession of my surgically extracted testicles preserved in a mason jar kept in the fridge next to the eggs. The affidavit reads, demand immediate return of my human remains and damages of $6,500. I don't know why you're tacking on $6,500. Seems like you're getting a little greedy. And what do you want your testicles back for? I guess you have to give them to the next person, right? Or is I don't know how that stuff works either. That's not a relationship I've been in yet. But, that's tricky. Who gets the testes?
What do you do with it after you keep it?
Then the wheels start turning and you start thinking about this, don't you? Yeah, why does either one? I don't want them. I don't want your testicles, sweetie. Thank you for transitioning for me and for yourself or whatever, but I don't want them. I don't want my own testicles in the refrigerator.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word testicles?
My balls. I literally touch them.
I think of an octopus.
Me too. Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
What?
Well, because it's close to tentacle.
Yes, that's seriously. I can't. It's like balls and octopus mixed. It's like a weird, hairy, droopy, saggy octopus.
Wow.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Well, they're not attractive. I mean, I don't.
No.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
Is the testicles?
Yes.
Is it just the balls, or is it the whole shebang?
No, it's
specifically
the
testicles. Yeah, just the balls.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
like as you say. Yeah, there's no more to it than that. Then you've got the Weenski, and I think that's everything down there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Then you're getting to the taint and the starfish, the brown starfish.
Do you call it the Weenski, Candace?
I'm very comfortable with testicles because I had to wrangle Charlie the goat to get his cut off because he kept banging everyone in the pen. So it was a sight to see, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That goat still will not come up to me.
He doesn't. Did you tell him about the 8 rules of banging coworkers? One at a time, Charlie. And then you took his balls. Well, at least he got some poking in before, you took him away. It doesn't happen to a lot of livestock.
He has a daughter, and so it's just but you gotta do that, otherwise it'll just keep going.
Yeah, that's true. I found that when you leave the balls on, we just keep balling, as it were. Any more ball stuff before we move on?
I think I got it all out of my system.
Okay, good. That's the bad story. I have a good story now. I think this is romantic. I mean, this probably is the least romantic way to meet someone, but whatever works. There's a 51-year-old truck driver in England named Mark Ellis. Mark Ellis.
What?
Oh, flash from the past, right? Mark Ellis. Well, not more than a flash from the past.
He's here.
Probably in the building right now.
He's under my chair.
I just remember Mark and I were partying, speaking of Leinenkugel, not that long ago, at the big Chippewa Falls summer party. So about 10 years ago, Mark Ellis was on his way to a bar when he stopped to use a public bathroom. Sometime about 2015, I guess, not really clear. Anyway, someone had written a phone number on the wall with a message that said, if you want a good shag, remember this is England, if you want a good shag, call Donna. And he tried the number.
Oh, why would you?
Yeah, why not? He's looking for a good shag.
Hello?
Hello? He actually sent a text. Come on, this is modern, right? And it's a little more safe. What are you up to? He sent a text that said, what are you up to? He didn't think anyone would actually respond. He just did it as a joke, but someone texted back and said, who is this? And it was really a woman named Donna. Her name, Donna Roberts. She looks like she's in her probably 30s now, I guess. Turns out an ex-boyfriend had written her number on the wall to mess with her. That's funny. Good stuff, buddy. You're classy. But it backfired because she and Mark hit it off. They started dating, fell in love. They now have 2 kids together. A 9-year-old and an 8-year-old, so I was off in the 2015 thing. I don't know what I was reading. Oh, it took some time around 2005. Yes, they have a 9-year-old and an 8-year-old. A newspaper in England just did a story on them. That's why we're hearing about it. Donna says their kids are still too young for the real story of how they met. Well, Mom's name was on a bathroom stall. So for now, they think Mark just texted her by mistake. I proposed to my wife, Stacy, who's my ex now, the very first time we met.
Are you insane?
We made eye contact, and I proposed.
What?
I was puking in the woman's bathroom at a bar in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and it was a 1-seater, and she was trying to get in. And so finally, I think she just threw the door open, like, what's going on in here? And there I am barfing in the women's bathroom, and I said, will you marry me? And like 2 weeks later, I'm back at the same bar, and she walks up and says, yes. Yes, what? Huh. She said, you proposed to me a couple of weeks ago, and that's how that Cinderella tale unfolded.
Wow.
And that's fun.
Special.
That is special. Teachers, when do the kids go back to school, Tony?
Mine in 2 weeks.
In a couple of weeks? Mm-hmm. I wonder if you're married to a teacher out there, you tooling along with us listening. Do you know what they're up to all summer? Not a second job. They're probably cheating on you. Mm-hmm. The average teacher, caring, hardworking, underpaid, underappreciated. We all get that, right? Here's the dark side. A new survey found that teachers are more likely to cheat on their significant others than people in any other job. 27. Well, they've got all that free time in the summer. The spouse is out working, that kind of thing. Why not? You get bored, start day drinking. 27% of teachers admitted they've cheated on someone, which is, I guess, a much higher number than any other vocation. The rest of the 5 jobs with the most cheaters are broadcasters, DJs, lawyers, pilots, journalists, and doctors. Survey also found men who cheat initiate affairs with coworkers about 3/4 of the time. Well, there's that coworkers thing. Yeah, it happens at work, doesn't it? Spending a lot of time together.
High pressure, high stress.
Yeah, I feel like the more time
ego-driven.
Yeah, it's getting a little close to home. Although, don't take this the wrong way. I feel like the more time I spend with you guys, the less time I want to F you.
Wow. That's messed up.
No, I just mean we're friends. We're pals. Like siblings.
I thought you said I was pretty.
I'll make an exception for you, Tony. You have a bunny suit.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm sure this was an incredibly awkward.
Yeah, I do.
Speaking of cheaters, listen to this one. I'm surprised we don't hear more stories like this. A 55-year-old man named Leroy Black from Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, West Egg, I believe, died last Tuesday. Apparently, Leroy left behind a wife and a girlfriend. We know that because both of them placed obituaries for him in the same paper. Yeah, both of those obituaries ran last Friday, so this happened last week, one right after the other. Oh, they used the identical picture of Leroy. Well, no wonder he liked them both. They have so much in common. The first one was his wife's. It says, quote, he is survived by his loving wife. The second one was his girlfriend's, and it doesn't mention a wife, but it does say he's, quote, survived by his longtime girlfriend. Awkward. Well, that's good for him. You know, he didn't have to experience that while he was alive. According to the funeral director, Beretta, that was the wife, and Princess was the girlfriend. Princess Hall is her name? Okay. I guess they did know each other, but they didn't know each other were sleeping with the same man. The funeral, that happened yesterday in Atlantic City. Eek. That's not cool.
Not cool at all.
No, that is definitely not cool. I don't like that at all. Oh, this is, kind of a weird story. Tony just sent me this morning. A San Francisco judge denied a motion to reduce the felony vandalism charges against a man accused of getting naked. Tony gets all the naked news.
Yeah, I'm drawn to that.
You are drawn to nakedness.
Naked.
He's naked and he's listening to us right now. He's naked and he's here. Anyway, this guy was accused of getting naked in a high-rise apartment building and intentionally flooding the property. One is harmless, the other not so much, caused millions of dollars in damages, leading to the evacuation and relocation of hundreds of his neighbors. In addition to the felony vandalism charge, Michael Nudity Neen also faces a misdemeanor charge of tampering with a fire alarm, pleaded not guilty of the charges. Yeah, I guess this guy took off all of his clothes, went down to the 11th floor, allegedly opened high-pressure pipes meant for use by firefighters, and sent water pouring down to the lower floors. He was naked, drenched in water, and standing next to an open pipe. What the heck's going on there?
Why nude?
I don't know.
Why not?
All right, you tell me. Can we do an am I the jerk kind of thing here real quick?
Yeah.
I clicked on this during the last break, and I wondered what you guys thought, because I couldn't quite immediately decide. I went, oh, gross. And then I thought, well, is that wrong? A woman asked her sister to babysit her newborn baby, and then was stunned when she caught her sister breastfeeding the baby.
Oh,
no.
That's crazy.
Okay, all right, so you guys said no. All right, sorry. Yeah, that's what I thought right away. The sister, by the way, also a new mother. So the woman called the police on her sister. That's the part I thought was a little over the top.
Don't call the coppers.
Yeah, right. So your sister also has a baby. She's, milking. She's rich with milk. And she feeds your baby. What's the big deal? I don't get it. It's your sister. It's just milk.
I don't know.
Right? See? So when you start to think about it, maybe it's not such a big deal.
Maybe not.
You probably agree, though, that calling the cops on your sister for breastfeeding your kid is a little over the top, right?
Well, it could upset the baby's tummy because it's the formula they're not used to.
Yeah, I suppose. Right. Did you pump any for her? You're supposed to pump if you're a mom, right? So you pump some and then say, here, sis, watch.
God, my poor friend, who I don't need to say her name, but she's just pumping all day. She had to pump in the car. We're out and about. She's got to pump.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because if you don't pump.
What? I don't know what happens if you don't pump. It just leaks out.
I don't need
it.
It hurts.
It gets,
it hurts. It's like explosions.
Yeah, you have to release it.
I didn't know that. I think we probably did that. I don't know. I left a lot of her work to that.
You got to keep pumping too, I guess. Pump.
Keep on.
Yeah, but if you keep pumping, it keeps producing. That's how we get milk. Dairy cattle, they pump it every day, a couple of times a day, and that's why they keep producing around the clock, 365 days a year. At some point, you have to stop pumping.
Remember in Meet the Parents when
What?
he talked about milking a cat? And they were like,
right.
You can milk
Yeah, Greg,
cat?
I have nipples. Can you milk me?
Yeah. You can milk anything with nipples.
Robert De Niro, I got nipples. Could you milk me?
Oh, by the way, happy 80th birthday to Robert De Niro.
80th birthday today for Bob?
Yeah.
His friends call him Bob. Robert De Niro.
Yeah, I just love him so much.
I haven't seen a Robert De Niro movie in a while that I've loved, but yeah, I like him. He's a fantastic actor. He's been in a lot of great movies. I just watched Midnight Run again a couple of months ago.
Really?
It was just on.
2 words for you. Shut the up.
That's
Great
from Midnight
timing,
Run.
huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
God, I love that movie.
Oh my gosh, that thing is just a masterpiece with the late, great Charles Grodin and that. All right, we're going to move along here. At the top of the hour, 9 o'clock. I'm going to talk about some AI stuff. I think I'm the only one interested in artificial intelligence. Obviously, it's going to destroy the planet probably in, I don't know, I hope not before Kragan's Resort in October or Christmas. Maybe January would be a good time for AI to completely take over the planet, but a lot of weird AI stuff out there. So much of it comes in the news every morning. We're just going to cover some of it, see what you think, freak you out at 9 o'clock. Hang tight.
Right on.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
A couple of weeks, kids headed back to school. So that happens before Labor Day around here? I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so damn long since my kids have been out of school. Before Labor Day, they go back to school?
Yeah.
Why don't they do it just after Labor Day? The state fair, let the families have their fun. Labor Day, 3-day weekend, and then we get down to work.
Don't ask questions, you control freak.
I'm sure they have a very good reason. I mean, I'm sure the teachers would like to cheat on their spouses for an extra week or two. I'm going to hear from some teacher friends today about that one. I'm just kidding. 27%, that's not a bad batting average. I mean, most of them are being faithful, is all I'm saying. Oh, yeah. I'm going to be blowing up my phone today. Well, let's switch it over to a controversial topic here, AI. How you guys feeling about AI? You okay with it? Artificial intelligence? No? Yeah?
A little scared.
Why is it such a thing now? I mean, it's been around a while, and now it's just like AI.
It is the year of AI. AI will be have they already done the Time Magazine's Person of the Year? It'll be AI this year. If they haven't already done it. Maybe they've already done it, and I'm just late to that game. But, yeah, last year we weren't talking about AI at all, and now it's taken over our lives. Would you use AI as a life coach? Pretty ironic, everyone getting their life advice from someone that's literally never lived, but Google is now trying to create an AI life coach. They taught it 21 different tasks to help people improve their lives, things like creative problem solving, helping you plan ahead better, creating budgets and meal plans, and just doling out life advice in general, I guess. 2 people have been working on it, said that Google wants to make it smart enough to give solid answers to, I'm quoting here, intimate questions about challenges in people's lives. Just ask AI, they'll tell you the truth. Well, it still is wrong. So I think that's the biggest misconception about AI is that it's perfect, right? It's super smart, it's better than we are, and it's right. Well, a school district, I don't know if we did the story last week or not. We were on vacation. We did not obviously do the story, but there was a story last week that they used the school district, I forget where, used AI to map out their bus routes, to come out with better bus routes. I don't know why someone at the school couldn't figure that out, but they decided to turn it over to an AI program. As a result, some of the kids didn't get home till 10 p.m. These buses were going on these crazy routes. Parents were freaking out. They were upset. Kids coming home at 10 p.m., late for bedtime, that sort of thing. So it's not perfect, but here's an example someone gave of AI as a life coach. A friend was in your wedding, just invited you to theirs, but it's a destination wedding and you can't afford it. I don't need AI to tell me that, hey, listen, thanks for coming to my wedding. The reason I can't come to your wedding is I can't afford it. I mean, don't be ashamed of that. I mean, it's a great excuse. I've used it even when I could afford it. I'd be like, oh, my God, it sounds expensive. I just wish I could be there. Hey, Google, how do I let them know that I can't go? It sounds, doesn't give us the answer, though.
Well, yeah, if you're close enough to be invited to the wedding, then you should be able to communicate.
We just are getting tired of being human beings, aren't we?
Yes, I'm very tired.
We just want to give it all away. It started with the internet. We're like, oh, look at all this stuff I don't have to do. I don't have to know math. I have a calculator. I don't have to, lick stamps and all that stuff. I'm just going to pay all my bills online. It's made life a lot easier, a lot more convenient, a lot more at our fingertips. And now here comes AI, and we just want to complete the process. I just don't even want to live anymore. I'm going to crawl in the pod of goo into the Matrix, live out my fantasy, and you stay out here for me and live this real existence, which is just getting more and more difficult every day. I agree, this AI crap.
This crap.
Now they say AI can steal passwords by listening to you type.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I read about that. That's chilling.
Oh,
right.
Gosh.
Yeah. You're a loud typer, Candace. We can sometimes hear you typing on the air.
I got stuff to do.
You're a busy person. Let AI do it. Yeah. I wonder who we'd have as guests if we let AI pick our guests or screen our phone calls or make our social media posts. Could be weird. We'll try it for a week. I'm AI right now. Zepp's not even here. He's with Gorman. We're golfing out in Colorado somewhere together. He couldn't get his AI up and running. He's a Luddite. Scientists also working on merging AI with human brain cells. You idiots. I know you're just so smart and you just can't wait. It's kind of like the Oppenheimer thing, isn't it? I didn't see the movie yet, but I've watched the documentary and I read the book, American Prometheus, that the movie is based on. And yeah, we're in such a rush to create this stuff that we don't think about the consequences. Scientists working on merging AI with human brain cells.
Oh, my God.
Will be obsolete, Candace, before you know it. Can you imagine? But we've been talking about recording our thoughts, that scientists are working on that too. They just can't wait to ruin our lives. But being able to record our thoughts. Now, our pet thoughts, we talked about that one. They think they're only a year or two away from a true dog translator. You just plop it on the dog. I don't know how you do it. Maybe it's a special collar they wear. And then when the dog barks, you're going to hear in your headphones or however that works. Maybe it's a little speaker box from the dog. It's going to be talking to you, telling you how it feels.
That's so cool.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty wild. But when they start recording our thoughts, our brain waves, it's over, boys and girls. All the stuff we've been talking about this morning, if we could hear what each other were really thinking, we might not even be speaking to each other. God knows what we'd be doing to each other. Maybe it would be much more than that. But I'm just saying, humanity is not built to take the whole truth and nothing but the truth from each other. We just have to filter it. I know I do. I couldn't be on the radio, for crying out loud, if my thoughts were just coming out of my head. Not for a minute. But anyway, so this is some scientists who have reconstructed a Pink Floyd song from recorded brain waves of a patient.
What?
Yeah, so can you tell? Now, this is rough. This is new technology. This is just getting started. This shouldn't weird you out as much as the John Lennon audio we just heard, but scientists have reconstructed a Pink Floyd classic from the recorded brainwaves of patients who are undergoing epilepsy surgery while listening to the song. So they play this song during the surgery and then record their brainwaves, and it turns out their brainwaves are playing it back. So this is what the brainwave recording sounds like of Pink Floyd song. See if you can guess this. It is a deep cut. It's going to be hard to guess. Yeah, it just sounds like bad audio processing, doesn't it? All right, I'm just saying it's some pretty freaky stuff out there coming our way, AI-wise. I haven't been working on my AI app lately, the one where it's going to completely record me and then I'm going to be able to step out of the show. I'm going to sit here and just listen to the entire thing. I told you I've used the laugh. I don't have it right here, so I'm going to quit talking about it. Moscow Mules. Let's talk about booze in here for a couple of minutes. You want to?
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. You like Moscow Mules, Tony? Candace?
No, I'm not that fond of them.
I'm not a big fan either, and it's probably a good thing.
I love them.
You do love them, Candace?
Yes, I love them so much.
Then I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Unfortunately, they might kill you.
What?
According to Iowa's Alcoholic Beverage Division, I don't want to hear anything about alcohol from Iowa, okay? Wisconsin has something to say. I'm listening. I feel like they're really dialed in. Minnesota, absolutely. Especially northern Minnesota, absolutely. Iowa's Alcoholic Beverage Division says you're really not supposed to have copper come in contact with acidic food or drinks. And Moscow Mules are very acidic. That means it can absorb just a little of the copper in the mug and pass it right along to you. So if you drink we're supposed to have copper in our bloodstream, right? In that part of our DNA or makeup.
Fine.
So if you drink them enough, you could wind up with copper poisoning. Well, I mean, you'd really have to belt them down, wouldn't you? And what alcoholic is taking I only get drunk on Moscow Mules. No, that's like Mad Dog and plastic bottle vodka. So you should probably think about limiting how many Moscow Mules you drink, or if you got to have them, drink them out of regular glasses once in a while. Well, they're always trying to take away our fun, aren't
they? The good old red Solo cup.
Yeah, I never use the appropriate cups. I drink wine out of mugs. Drinks. I use all the wrong kinds of cups.
You rebel.
How about right out of the bottle? Let's quit screwing around and give it to me right out of the frickin' bottle.
Cup your hands and throw it down.
Right out of the hose, the booze hose. What
the
do you guys?
Flabongo.
Is that called the bongo?
No, the Flabongo. You guys forgot about this already?
Yeah, what's the Flabongo again? Oh, yeah, no, it's you drinking out of flamingos.
Yeah, so all you gotta do is get a plastic flamingo. You gotta cut the belly open.
Oh.
And then you gotta cut his beak off.
This is a real flamingo?
That's brutal. You're savage.
Don't you think? Is this real? Are we talking about a real flamingo? So you gut it, cut its beak off.
Candace the
Hollow
butcher.
it out. Yeah, you fill her up, toss her down.
Now, I think you did this out in an RV park, did you not?
Wee Fest, yes.
It was out of Wee Fest, and we talked about this. What swingers do, they'll put the flamingos out in front of the RV or their tent or whatever if they want to swing. And that pulled you right. They reeled you right in with the flamingo.
I like all that stuff. Yeah.
So do you put the straw in the flamingo's belly then?
No, you're
No
not.
straw?
You're not understanding. You gut the belly. You chop the beak off. You flip her over. You fill her up. You toss her down. I mean, can't you see it?
You're talking about my dating life, it sounds like. No.
Flip her over.
No. No. Come on. Well, it does. I mean, it sounds like fun, but it sounds like a lot of effort. You know, I get.
But in the butt. Oh my God. AI!
And then you drink it out of the butt? Is that what you're saying? I didn't hear that. Could you one more time?
Oh my God. In the butt, in the butt. AI, AI.
In the butt.
Today's message was brought to you by AI.
You're not supposed to talk like that around your coworkers, Candace. We've covered this already.
Forgot.
All right, we've got a bunch of local news. We got this guy on the roller coaster. We want to introduce you to him. The Renegade roller coaster. How many times have you ridden it? I bet you haven't ridden it nearly as many times as this cat had. Also, we're going to talk about this air quality alert. It's supposed to get lousy here over the next 24 hours. We'll get into all that. We do have traffic and weather coming. Hang tight.
In the butt, in the butt, in the butt.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Right now, pick up your phone and qualify to win a trip to see Aerosmith's Peace Out Farewell Tour hitting North America this fall. We're sending someone to see them on New Year's Eve. Aerosmith, that would be pretty damn cool. One winner will score a trip for two to Aerosmith's hometown show, Boston. Got your air, hotel, tickets covered there. Aerosmith with the Black Crowes, New Year's Eve, plus you and your guest will each take home a copy of Aerosmith's Ultimate Greatest Hits. Oh, yeah, they have that new deal with Universal, so they're releasing a new Greatest Hits Super Deluxe 4 LP edition. Text the national keyword HOME. The word HOME to 95819. Do it now to enter for your chance to win tickets to see Aerosmith.
Cool.
That would be pretty stinking cool,
I've
no
seen
doubt about
Aerosmith.
it. Have you seen Aerosmith?
I did at that summer jam something or another. A few years ago. It was so hot. I was melting.
Loudest concert I've ever seen was Aerosmith.
Yeah,
cool.
Probably definitely one of the louder shows. I've been lucky. I've seen them several times over the years. They always bring it. I mean, they're just a great band, right? They don't have to come out and kind of fake it. Not a lot of stage props. But I did see them in Vegas with my daughter when Taylor was living out there. They were doing their Vegas residency. We thought, what the hell? Why not? That was a show where they brought all the bells and whistles. It's Vegas, right? You've got to just, throw out the confetti, the cannons, the smoke, the fire. They had it all going on.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool show. And they're out finally on their farewell tour. Aerosmith. Say it ain't so, don't say goodbye. Well, an air quality alert has been issued for the entire state of Minnesota. They spent that break really trying to find out how severe this is. They don't know. Just, more Canadian wildfire smoke's drifting in. There's a cold front. That's kind of nice with the cooler weather. Candace, you were talking about highs in the mid-70s today.
I was, yes.
So that's pretty sweet. We'll take that. But, yeah, I guess we're going to get this wildfire smoke again. And this alert right here says that I'm looking at from the National Weather Service says air quality poor for all people, not just those with asthma and smokers and all that good jazz. So bad air. Well, plenty of things to do inside, right?
Don't inhale.
Don't inhale when you're outside. Hold your breath. This story here out of Golden Valley. This happened, I think, overnight tonight. Most car thefts happen in an instant, but a group of criminals in Golden Valley took their time busting through a garage door and stealing vehicles valued at more than $500,000 early Tuesday morning. I take that back. About 1:30 a.m., a surveillance video shows a group of thieves using a vehicle stolen out of Minneapolis to ram through the garage door of Maury's Recon Center off Colorado Avenue South. The business details cars for clients at Maury's dealerships. Man, that sucks. and they stole a bunch of cars out of there. What the hell's going on out there? I thought that was something that was happening overnight. Oh, something that did kind of a breaking story that we talked about a couple of days ago. The Goodhue County Police Department. Goodhue, actually, it's just Goodhue, Minnesota, in Goodhue County. The police department all quit at the same time. You guys remember this?
Oh, yeah.
They had the entire damn police department, which might not have been very big. Goodhue's not a large community, but everybody just quit, walked off, talking about bad pay, overwork, that sort of thing. In fact, we have some audio here of Mayor Ellen Anderson Buck reacting to the news and comments made by Police Chief Josh Smith about their recruiting issues.
I think we're all a little bit blindsided by it, but we're resilient and we're going to move forward. But it is hard.
Like I said, this has been 3 weeks now. We got 0 applicants, and I have 0 prospects. I've called every PD around for the youngest guys out there getting into the game. There's nobody getting into the game. If you want to keep the PD, and this is something where we want to continue going with, something that needs to change dramatically and drastically, and it's got to happen now.
Well, fear not, Goodhue residents, according to a statement from the sheriff's office this morning, a tentative agreement is in place for the sheriff's office to cover the city through the end of the year. Get them through the end of the year. Good luck down there in Goodhue. That sucks. Not have any cops, although, police yourselves. Little vigilante justice. Dish it out. I'm ready.
It's the Old West.
Yeah, not the Old West. All right, we talked about this guy earlier, I think way back in the 6 o'clock hour. Mike Cameron has a roller coaster record. He has ridden the Renegade roller coaster at Valley Fair over 23,000 times and going strong. He has a goal. What's going on with, and I'd suppose Mike's probably in his 30s, maybe 40s. I'm just looking at you, Mike. Don't be offended if you're listening this morning. Mike Cameron notching 23,000 rides on the roller coaster down in Valley Fair.
Kind of exciting. It's like I can't believe it's 23,000 rides already.
He visits Valley Fair almost every day during his lunch hour, and then again after work to experience the ups and downs of his favorite amusement park attraction. Over and over and over again until the park closes, averaging 28 rides per visit.
From the drop to the brakes, doesn't slow down, doesn't give you a chance to catch your breath. It's just nonstop the whole time.
Cameron fell in love with the Renegade more than 15 years ago when he was one of the first people to ride it when it debuted back in 2007.
I rode it the first day, opening day. I was like, oh my gosh, this is how a roller coaster should be. It's like, I love this thing. So I just rode it the rest of the day, kept tracking my rides.
Within a few years, Cameron started marathoning, as he calls it, to see how many rides he could take on the Renegade in a single season. By 2017, he'd reached 10,000 rides to celebrate the roller coaster's 10th anniversary and earned the nickname Renegade Mike.
I really enjoyed it. It was fun trying to get here, see how many rides I could get every day. I don't see an end in sight. I do kind of have a goal of hitting 42,236 rides, which would equal the equivalent of riding Renegade around the world.
For more stories, Maury Glover, Box 9.
I can only assume that Mike Cameron there does not have a significant other.
I was literally just wondering if he was single. I like his voice. I like his energy. I don't know. I'm gonna look into this.
Mike,
would you accompany him?
Yeah, you'd have to.
Yeah,
don't screw up his record here. He's just a little over halfway there. He has years and years of riding the Renegade roller coaster at Valley Fair before he meets his goal.
I found him on Instagram.
Did you?
His name is Renegade Mike.
Oh, yeah, Renegade Mike. That's him.
Following.
Okay, look out. Love is in the air. You're going to head down to Valley Fair and try and meet him?
I just wonder, trying to suggest another ride.
What if he gets on one of the other roller coasters, like the Wild Thing? I don't know what's down there anymore, but he gets on one of the other roller coasters, Excalibur, and goes, holy crap, this one's much better. I should have tried another roller coaster.
Or he screams in fear.
Yeah, let's be honest. The Renegade, come on.
I like the water one where the flume, where you go up and you go down, and then you go and you stand on the bridge, and then you get soaked by the next flume that goes down.
Oh, that's right. You do. I remember taking the kids out on the bridge, right? Stand right here. Dad's going to go over there and get a beer. No, I didn't do that. Maybe like stand right here and then wham, all the kids get hit. It's a lot of fun. It's Valley Fair. It's hot as hell, although cooling off a little bit. Well, we know where Mike will be, and now maybe Candace. Love on the roller coaster. You know you're going to have to get married on that frickin' roller coaster. It's going to be your whole life, Candace. You're just going to use this poor guy for a couple of roller coaster rides. You're going to be his roller coaster girlfriend.
I mean, it
She's
sounds
up, she's
fun.
down. Yeah, right. It sounds fun now on day 598.
I can't believe that roller coaster is still kicking. Yeah, it's the wood one that's all crickety.
Yeah, well,
Eventually, you're going to say, we're in some kind of a rut every day.
I feel like, it's gotten monotonous, or it just feels like we're doing the same thing every day. Yeah. No, Candace, I don't know if Mike can keep up with the Candace roller coaster. Just stick with the Renegade, Mike. Mike Renegade. No, it's fun.
Mine would be a water ride.
Okay.
You're a water ride girl. He's a roller coaster guy. He's a little bit country. You're a little bit rock and roll. I don't know if it's going to work out. But I would love to follow this train wreck. I'd love to hear about it every day on the air. Okay. I'd like to watch his heartbreak as he just gets onto the roller coaster, or the day he doesn't go to the roller coaster. Poor Candace broke his heart.
Just his hat is there in the empty seat.
What happened? A blonde. Mike, come join me. Well, we have an outreach group of guys that just get together once a week. We sit around in chairs and drink stale coffee and just talk about the blonde that did us wrong. Men's hands are weaker today than their fathers. Is this true?
Oh, that makes sense.
I suppose. I know my dad has a hell of a grip. He's always showing it. He's got those farmer fingers, those sausages. And Popeye forearms because he grew up in a dairy farm before they had machines. So all he was doing was milking cows manually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like those Popeye forearms. So he has super strong hands. He'll do something like, here, now you try it, Brian. And the only reason you want me to try it, Dad, is so I can look like a weenie and you can look tough.
Oh, he's Popeye.
He is Popeye. Never seen him eat spinach, though. Lima beans, that's his spinach. Yeah, right. The one bean no one likes, except Skip Zepp in South Dakota. It would be fine if we just worked it in every once in a while, but no. Mom had a big farm garden, like a whole acre, and half of it was lima beans.
Wow.
That's too bad. If anybody tells you they like lima beans, call them a liar. There's only one person on the planet.
So you put anything on them? Sass them up a little bit?
No, it was salt. Salt goes on everything, but Mom will occasionally make them in that milky stuff. What's that milky, juicy broth that they sometimes put beans and corn and crap in? I don't know what's in there. It's milk, water or something, some stock. It didn't make them taste any better. Dry. Very, very dry. Anyway, you're not going to believe it, but the fact that you haven't done a single day of manual labor in your life have left your hands weak like a child's. Yeah, I mean, the only reason I have a couple of calluses on my fingers, or my hands rather, from, what do you call that?
Nose picking.
No, golf. I thought you were going to go somewhere else. That's where you get the callus on the end of your finger. A new study found that men's hands today are weaker than their dad's hands or hands from any previous generation. That makes sense. The average guy today who's between 20 and 34 grips something with 98 pounds of force. The average guy today, 20 to 34, about 98 pounds of force, which you would think that's enough to get the job done, whatever the job is. In the same study 30 years ago, the average man squeezed with 117 pounds of force. So a significant drop-off there. So I guess the reason is pretty obvious. Men from previous generations were working. They were getting stuff done. You still run into those men out there. They're all over the place. I drive past them all the time. And wave with my weak little hands.
We tap screens.
Good job, guys. Although you think with Pornhub, that didn't exist 30 years ago. That keeps the grip. No? Not so much? Move on to the next story.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good one.
I don't know.
I'm
I feel
surprised.
left out of this story, so.
Yeah, right. Well, how's your grip?
I got little hands. Putting my hand up next to Tony's is hilarious.
Is it? Okay, we'll try that after the show. I'm going to squeeze this in here. This is weird. Roombas. You guys have a Roomba?
Oh, my God.
What?
Roombas are crazy, man.
Yeah, they're bizarre.
I don't have one, but I slept over. They're probably listening. Deb and Steve Bolster. They live in Brainerd. I was sleeping downstairs. Had a little fun on my birthday. And all of a sudden, boom, boom, crashing noise upstairs. Boom, 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 bop, 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 bop. I was just like, what the heck? Are we getting robbed? Like, is it a thunderstorm? I was so scared. It was their Roomba.
Yeah, they're loud.
Yeah, I guess they're crashing into things. I had no idea they were so loud. Why don't they just turn it on when they're not home? Why do they have it running at night? Is it on a timer?
Yeah.
I don't like them. I don't like robots taking my job. No, I'm not getting a lot of vacuuming.
You don't like
done,
Deb and
trust
Steve?
me. And Deb and Steve can kiss it. Well, listen to this. I'm surprised we haven't seen a story like this already. What happens when your Roomba meets a pile of dog poop?
God.
Yeah, a guy named Jesse has a Facebook post going viral right now where he shared a story of what happened when his dog pooped in the house in the middle of the night while his Roomba was vacuuming. On a diagram here, it looks like some kid just took a pencil and scribbled all over a piece of paper, except that's poop. Basically, the Roomba tracked the poop all over the living room for several hours, spread it in every different direction, and killed the Roomba in the process.
Sure, new Roomba.
Oh, man. He's got poop to clean. So the Roomba's not cleaning anymore, and you've got a lot of poop to clean up. Yeah. Get to work, mister. I like a good Roomba revenge story.
The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.